Well, today is wave day. Storm came through yesterday, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And now it's just spectacular out here. A little word about photography and getting out in the world. A lot of times we have a destination in mind, an idea of what we need to do and a goal we need to achieve.
Okay, well, here's that spot that YouTube says that many of you might be thinking about scrolling away. Hell, even my kids have bailed by now. I mean, who really wants to listen to an old guy waxing poetic about his life and landscapes? It's true, though. I've experienced so much that I want to share it with the world. I love photography. I love people. I love vistas and movies, adventure, music, nature, and I just want to share my excitement with as many people as I can while I still can. So, if you'd rather watch some guy building a camper van, you can leave now. I'll even leave a link below. It's actually a pretty enjoyable channel. But if you're someone like me who's tired of daily chaos and crave a moment of peace and inspiration, well, stay with me till the end. Drop a comment so we can chat. And please enjoy this awe-inspiring escape together through my lens. Now back to the video, and really, thanks for sticking around.
And I learned something yesterday in the 60-mile-an-hour winds and gusts and rain and sleet and hail and crazy stuff. We were rushing to get to a certain spot where there were some huge sea stacks up on the northern Hebrides, northern part of Lewis Island. And along the way there were some amazing opportunities for photographs. And I kept saying in my mind, wow, that would be a great picture, that would be a great picture. And we kept saying, well, we'll get it on the way back. And on the way back, it was just pouring rain. And it just goes to show you that don't miss the opportunities. Take advantage of them when you can. You never know when you're going to be able to get back to it. Take those shots. Take those moments. Utilize them. Take time for yourself. Take time for your family. But don't be overly oriented on getting to the end, when really the process is the whole part of it. Life is living. And sometimes we get upset and depressed that we don't get to do the things or achieve the things we want to do. Or that we get hounded by and thwarted by forces that we have no real way of controlling. And we keep pushing ourselves to try to control those things we can't control. And sometimes it's best to just stop. Take a breath. Look around. See what's around you. It doesn't have to be this huge, beautiful skyscape. But even in your own home, walking down the street, walking down the block, looking at the sky, looking at your kids, looking at your grandkids, checking out the things along the way that you're missing. Don't miss those opportunities. Take the time. Look, see, feel, enjoy the awe that is around you. All right. Now, back to shooting some cool waves.
Well, if you made it this far into my Scottish Highlands journey, well, thank you. And if this is the first of the 3-part series you've seen, I'll leave a link to the others above. When we last left off, we had just made it for sunset at Luskentyre beachhead, and I knew immediately that this was going to be a special place. This is where I would really hone in my skills as a photographer, become comfortable shooting in truly every imaginable weather condition possible, and challenge myself to find compositions truly out of the ordinary for me. I'm going to try to break this video up into different topics so you can see what I saw, and hopefully glean some of the amazing learning experiences I had on this journey. Photography is all about light, and one cannot determine light without determining weather. Knowing how to predict what the weather conditions will be, and the geography of where you are as to where and when the sun will rise and set is vital for every photographer to master. I personally have 6 different weather apps, all of which have different weather models on them on my phone at all times. And that doesn't even include my space weather apps to predict the aurora. In addition, I like to utilize something called photo pills to determine where I am in relation to celestial events, the rising and setting sun directions and times, as well as the phases of the moon. Knowing the dew point, wind speed, and direction, as well as the tides, all can affect your plan of attack. The Isle of Harris and the Isle of Lewis, part of Scotland's Outer Hebrides, boast a mesmerizing blend of geography, history, and natural beauty. These islands feature diverse landscapes, from the rocky peaks and hills of Harris to the sweeping moorlands of Lewis. Luskentyre Beach, located on Harris's west coast, where our rental house was, epitomizes natural beauty with its expansive stretches of pure white sand and crystal clear turquoise waters, fringed by dunes and hills. It's absolutely spectacular. The island's weather is notoriously changeable, with bursts of sunlight breaking through the clouds, enhancing the mystique of the landscape and making for some of the most remarkable rainbows I've ever seen. The islands and this amazing week offered me an incredible canvas to capture the wild essence of Scotland, and it provided me endless inspiration for unique compositions.
It doesn't get better than this.
No, it does. It could be a little bit less windy, but yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Battling the elements, I've learned, is an essential part of photography. And this is especially true in the Outer Hebrides, where weather conditions are constantly changing. Being prepared for all conditions, where one can experience 4 seasons in one day, can make the difference between a boring day inside watching TV and the shot of a lifetime.
I think I'm gonna need a hot cup of tea after this.
If there's one thing I learned from my week in Luskentyre, is that rain or shine, sleet or sun, you need to get up, get dressed, and get out.
It's not that bad, actually. Well, maybe it is. But it's fun. It's exhilarating. Trying to get some shots of those waves coming over. I actually like some of the grasses, the way they're bending, and trying to get some macro shots of those. I think they're pretty cool.
While that day on the beach was incredibly cold and windy, it wasn't until the next day that we really experienced the true brunt of what Scotland could throw at us. We decided to take a ride to the north end of Lewis to check out some sea stacks. And well, when we got there, the full force of Mother Nature threw all she had at us.
Well, as I wait here, trying to shelter from the wind for Nigel Danson to come back from God knows where he's gone. Oh, I've seen him. There he is. Coming from over the ridge. This is daft madness!
Right, windy.
After nearly getting blown off that cliff, we gave up on that site and tried to see if we could check out the sea stacks. And of course, we volunteered Nigel to go out and check out the conditions. Thankfully, Rhiannon had her phone out and captured some of the funniest video I've ever seen.
Fucking shit, mate. Fucking. Oh, no. What on earth on earth did I... What's going on? Look at your hair!
I'm still laughing thinking about it. Now, after seeing this, you would think, why did you even bother to go out that day? Especially when every weather forecast predicted rain and winds exceeding 60 to 80 miles an hour. But if we hadn't gone out, I never would have gotten perhaps my favorite shot of the trip. On our way up to that spot you just saw, I caught a glimpse of an old abandoned house on the side of the road, and despite the rain and our goal to get to the sea stacks before the heavy stuff, I really wanted this shot. Getting out of the car in the rain on the side of the road, I moved back and forth to try to isolate the house from a large telephone pole next to the road and to try to include the stone fence along the side of the house. And just as I got the composition right, 4 sheep meandered into the shot, one of which turned to me just as I hit the shutter. The next day, the skies cleared and we decided to try to capture some shots of some oyster catchers we saw standing in the surf. Long lenses on, with shutter speed set to over 2,000ths of a second, we slowly crept along the surf so as to not scare off the flock in front of us. Step by step, down and up, until we finally spotted movement in the front, and off they went. We then turned our eyes towards capturing patterns, which I especially enjoyed. When walking within a landscape, many of us tend to focus on the big picture, the surrounding sky, the landscape, and in this case, the seas. But with a camera in hand, your sense of awareness becomes so much more acute, and things that normally would have gone unnoticed become a vital part of the big picture. And if you add a drone to your armamentarium, well, the sky's the limit. Perhaps my favorite feature of Luskentyre was the continuously changing light conditions and weather, which lent itself well to creating some of the most amazing rainbows and waves I've ever seen. Being on the outer western edge of Scotland, small fronts of rain, especially in the high winds we were experiencing, would pass through rapidly, leading to sudden downpours, sometimes accompanied by hail. But just when you think it's time to pack it up, the sun pokes out, and along with it the most spectacular rainbows I've ever seen. By the end of the 2 weeks, it all came together. My comfort level with the elements, rapidly changing settings on the fly, looking for compositions that had eluded me before, and learning how to put the camera down, take a deep breath, and take it all in. On our last day, we were treated to incredible waves, and sitting on the rocks, I must have taken over 1,000 pictures. But just when I thought we had seen it all of the elements came together to create one of the most unique and beautiful events I've ever seen.
And just when I thought it couldn't get any better than this,
Check out these lenticular clouds.
I'll flip it around so you can see. The lenticular clouds above mean there's high winds, which, well, we already knew. There they are above there. And it's so cool because they make these cool patterns. I'll take a couple of pictures here. See that wave? Holy crap.
Well, as these 2 weeks come to a close, just want to say thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, below. I really enjoyed my 2 weeks in this unbelievable place, seeing the sights of Scotland, and ending up in this incredible scene at sunset here. A special thanks to my amazing wife for giving me the opportunity to follow my dreams, my goals, my passions. And to my kids, Joshua, Hannah, Sarah, Emily, Amy, and Brittany, you guys are the best. You're right here with me as I enjoy nature. I enjoy this incredible place. You are always number one on my mind, and I take you with me at all times. I love you all. Till next time,